How to boil water. Camping is 80% boiling water. The other 20% is hauling water to boil water. If in doubt, boil water. It will keep you sane. When you do not know what else to do, just fucking find a way to make water. Find a way to get water, make it hot, get yourself a fucking tea bag, put it in there, and then you can sit yourself down and you can have a minute of familiar human sanity. Now the weather is changing. Southern Hemisphere, we are moving out of summer, we're in autumn, and we're headed into winter. Summer and winter requires very different living styles, regardless of where you are in our adorable as fuck climate. No, we don't have 25,000 feet of snow. I'm grateful for these things. All of this shit, none of this shit would work in fucking Massachusetts or Minnesota. You can't just go and do this in Minnesota. You get 3 days and go, that was fun. Oh, they'd have to dig me up like the fucking permafrost Iceman. What I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying. Right, first things first. Science, quick science lesson. Oh my God, what am I doing? That right there is a $25 butane lunchbox stove, they call them. Lunchbox stove, $25 from Kmart. Don't pay $50 at a fucking camping store for them. They're exactly the same thing. They're very simple. The side opens. You get the butane. You get a 3-pack of butane for $4.50. So for $30, you can walk into a Kmart, well, that carries camping shit. But for $30, you can walk into a Kmart. You can get a butane stove and a 3-pack of little butane cans. Now these sandwich stoves for older people, yeah, they had a fucking thing with exploding the cans out, blah, blah, blah. They were quite unsafe, apparently. Just so you know. I don't know, like 10, 15 years ago now, they changed them and they updated the technology in them. So if you see here, I know it's a weird angle, but you're putting the can in there, clonk. Nowadays, the can has an actual little cutout in the top, in the nib. You have to just put it in the correct angle. It's simple. And this little bit, goes over. Around the front, look, and then you have to lock the can in. Then you can fucking turn it on. Basically, that is an auto blowout valve nowadays. Do you know what I mean? If anything, if that gets overheated, excuse the fucking shit mess. If it overheats, if anything goes weird with the butane can, that will jettison it out. So they're quite safe now. Just letting you know. If you're one of the people that remember them from when you were a kid, you're like, no man. I've never had any trouble with them, but also I don't fuck around with them, yeah? These things are 90% vents for reasons, yeah? These things are this size and they say, do not put a dumbass stupid big pot on that's going to hang over all the vents and bring all the heat back over the top of the gas canister. Just don't be a dickhead. Use an appropriately sized pot. It's not hard. If it's too big, hang the pot off the side away from the fucking very thin gas canister. That's butane. Butane is really great in spring and summer. And indoors. As not in a fucking tent. What I'm saying is if you have like a shed or a caravan or anything, then they're good there. Never, ever, ever, ever fucking put naked flame anywhere near a tent, especially not in a tent, and for the love of God, not with you in there with it. Tents don't burn, they melt. Radiant heat exists. Just because you hold your hand over the top of that one little tea light candle and you can't feel heat going God knows where, you know, or just because you're only running the butane stove in a tent for a small amount of time to do a small cup of water or something. No. No. Value your own life. Boil your water before the fucking sun goes down. Or go outside and boil it. Or just fucking wait, because the sun will come up. The sun will be up. Literally, like, the sun only goes away for like fucking 8 or 9 hours. You can do it. Stick your hands under your armpits, stay warm, and just focus on the fact that the sun will come up, and then you can boil water safely. And if the sun doesn't come up, then shit, we've all got way bigger fucking problems than boiling a cup of water. So either way, you're fine. Any type of fucking actual heat generation, flames anywhere near polyester tents or anything? No. 1,500 homeless people in Australia died last year. 1,500 deaths caused by asphyxiation, gas poisoning. They listed them off in the article. So the point is the science of butane. That will be your first port of call. But the trouble is, people that don't know, don't know. As we are heading into winter, yes, having any form of how to fucking boil water and make a cup of tea so you can remember that you're a human being, any form is better than nothing. And for $30 to have a stove and a 3-pack of butane. But the science of butane is against us with how the weather's going. I was going to relight this fire. How hot's this? Oh, fuck. That's my favourite hobby. Ooh, that one's hot enough for a cup of tea. My favourite hobby is spending 7 hours boiling water and then not making the fucking tea. The science of butane. Right. Oh, that's fine. Butane will not burn at less than -2 degrees Celsius. The way that butane works in the stoves is by creating heat, it makes itself colder. And so the cans end up like you're in space, man. They've got fucking ice on the outside. They cold themselves. And so you burn them butane and you just watch your neck go, and then you go, shit, and you go, still full. Yeah, no, it's all fucking cold in there now. So you need the second can, you put that in. And then you end up doing what is referred to as the butane shuffle. And you end up with fucking half full, cold tins of fucking butane shit in all your pockets, trying to warm them up so you can get it warm enough so it will burn, so then it can cold itself again and it will stop burning, and it's a whole shit mess. Butane will be okay to use during the day, you know, for at least the next month or two. But as soon as the evenings are actually, you know, as soon as you feel cold, yeah, no, trying to like brute force boil a whole tub of water using butane stove, it won't work. And it seems that a lot of people never level up from butane. They just live infuriated existences. So get one of them. So you've got it. And you don't have to worry now the sun's gone, because I was going to say, and also you got to make sure you don't leave your cans out in the fucking sun, otherwise they slowly off-gas and they're empty, and, we don't have to worry about that now. Anyway, so that's butane. That will be okay during the daylight, and that's another thing. Like, in winter, if that is all you've got, that's why you get your nice big thermos. And before that temperature drops, when the sun's starting to go down, you get your shit sorted. And so you get your big pot, and you boil up your heap of fucking water, and you fill preheat thermoses. I didn't know what that meant for ages. Okay, so literally all it means is just boil your water up, and then just put like a splash into it, just even a centimetre, like into a big thing. Put the lid on and shake the shit out of it. Because again, with the science, because all the heat is trapped in the water molecules, and when you shake it, you're busting it apart into steam, and you're like smashing, and you're making it all steam, thereby releasing the heat out of the water. So you shake the shit out of it, and then you can tip that bit out, but I always find that it's actually, I don't know what weird magic's going on with that. That tiny bit of water still is hot, but yeah, it's just a tiny centimetre. Put a lid on, shake the crap out of it, and then that's what takes the cold out of the metal. And then you boil up your water while your butane's still good. And you fill your thermos all the way up. And now you've got, 2 litres of hot water to use now until the sun comes up tomorrow. One thing you use that for is to warm yourself on the inside through drinking it, and cups of tea, and having fucking hot Weet-Bix with milk powder and stuff in your little tent or in your little shelter in the night. Warm yourself up from the inside. You can also use it to warm yourself up from the outside because, where is it? Somewhere else. What you need is a metal water bottle, single skin, not a thermos. You need the insulated shit, but separately, you need a metal, single wall metal drink bottle. And what you do with that is, again, with the hot water, you just put a tiny bit, like a centimetre of water, hot water, put a centimetre of your water in there, put the lid on. I personally like to just give that tiny little shake. And then really screw the lid on, just in case, because, I got the paranoia about, oh no, it might pressurize. Put the lid on, you got your metal drink bottle, and then you grab onto it and you go, ow, fuck, that's hot. And you're like, yeah, it's as hot as the boiling water I just put in there. Because it's just metal, it's gonna, boom, there is your hot water bottle. I used to dick around with those rubber ones and all the rest of it. That don't work. And so you get a metal thing, you put a centimetre of water in, bam, that's hot. And so, but also if you don't shake it, it'll just sit there like that. It starts getting a bit cool, you shake it. And now you're releasing the heat that was in there. And then I did learn, don't keep adding hot water to that. Okay, when that first little bit of water has gone cool, you fucking drink it. You got lukewarm water now. That's, you have a nice drink bottle. You got lukewarm water, you got a little tiny bit, boom, there you go, bonus hydration. And then out of your proper thermos, your 2 litre thermos, you can put another 1 centimetre into your little metal thing. They're fucking brilliant, man, because you chuck that down at your feet. Oh, genius. Anyways, there's ways to use, your 2 litres of water overnight. If you're running butane, do it in the day, and then you don't have to do any cooking at night. What's after butane? People are using the little jet burners. Now, that is propane. Those green those squat fat green cans that all the hikers and shit use, that is propane. Also known as barbecue gas or whatever in Australia. Yeah, the same shit that's coming in your 9 kilo gas bottle, the exact same stuff is coming in those squat fat green screwing cans. That is the same substance. Jet boils are cool if you're like more mobile and you're moving around and stuff. If you want to run any appliances or any things that use those green squat screwing cans, and if you're not dragging all your shit around, you know, if you've made yourself a little hobo hovel wherever you're illegally camped, don't buy those green cans. You can buy adapter cables. They're very, like, you know, normal things, yeah? Like any barbecue cord. One end is that little screwy thread that goes into the screwy green thing. The other end plugs straight into a 9 kilo gas bottle. Or a 3.5, the little baby ones. And now you're running the same fuel way fucking cheaper. Anyway, so that's upgrade to propane. Moving into winter, my personal suggestion, and what I did 2 winters ago, was just immediately upgraded to propane. Barbecue gas. Because barbecue gas will burn at very cold temperatures. Like, it's not going to freeze. I think the lines, I have to say, I'm not in a place with snow or bad frosts or anything. You know, maybe I might chuck a little tarp or something over it, just purely so that the actual rubber cable thing, you know, doesn't get too sort of frozen or brittle. But I didn't notice any issues. So yeah, one of those little 3.5, you know, those little half-size barbecue things, they're not heavy. And they're not fucking expensive, man. For a 9 kilo swap and go gas bottle thing, the buy-in price was like $70 or $80. So, you know, I paid $80 to like buy a gas bottle full of gas, and then it's like $30 to refill it each time or something. And yeah, I'm just saying, propane's good. Because it will fucking work through, you know, this normal Aussie temperature. First winter, I was just using a proper 2-burner Coleman camping stove. I've got it right over there, man. It's got the proper little flimsy metal table. You know, the thing that all our fucking dads were cooking on in the 80s? One of them. I've got the little gas bottle sitting on the little shelf. I've got the thing plugged straight in. That's great for outdoor. You know, that's great for outdoor. It's like nice 2-burner thing with the fold out. If you remember to actually put the lid down when it rains, you know, it works a bit better because it's not all full of water. But I found that very perfect, man. It was perfect. Just get a saucepan. Now, here's the more mobile version of that. I just wanted to actually show you this thing. Because I saw it used in a way that I didn't know it could be used. If you're still here, good on you. And also hello to your field from my field, because clearly you're a hobo with nothing else to be doing than listening to some hobo talk shit on the internet. So it's good to meet you, friend. Right, here's one that I do actually want to show you. These are a tiny little burner screws straight into the top of a gas bottle. Boom. Nowadays, the barbecue gas bottles and shit, they don't come with that size on the top. That's the small size. They got the big fucking size. Again, there's, elbow joints and stuff. You can buy them, like, from the actual gas people, the hardware shop and stuff. They're things that exist. I'm just saying, they're things that exist. They're not, like, weird, made up sort of stuff. Like, Coleman brand and shit, camping brands sell this stuff now. But that burner, that's what I use. That's been out in the fucking yard for 6 months. That is what I cooked on all of last winter. I had that straight plugged into the top of the half-size propane gas bottle, and I had that indoors. Because it's only making one flame. I could have it on the ground so it's only like a foot off the ground. And it's fucking genius for outside and stuff, because you can just pick the gas bottle up and just walk around and go, here's the kitchen, done. Yeah, very handy, very useful, and this actual thing, $35, from a camping store. $35. And it was fucking good. So anyways, that is, I think, I'm going to get a new one of these, as it's all rusted out, and hey, look, if you're putting your gear to real everyday use, then, like, it pays to replace good gear, especially if it's messing around with your cooking, gas exploding. But for me, yeah, that, we got the giant fucking train. This train thinks it's so great. So yeah, outdoor cooking, on the nice big 2-burner. It's got the big long silly cord that has to go down to a gas bottle. That's cool for the outdoor cooking, but I'm bringing it down for winter, changing the narrative over for winter. Thought I heard something, it's probably a kangaroo. Like shit, it rained the other day. I'm like, oh my god, my kitchen's over there. I can't go. So yeah, cost effective. That screwed into the top. The weird way I saw that used was I've seen one of these screwed straight into the top of one of those green hiking. 5%. Alright. I did this on low battery so it would naturally limit my rant eventually. Yeah, anyways, that's what I'm going to do for winter when I, shut most of it back down. Just one propane, one burner, and that'll be fun. And any solid structure that I have, I can easily have that in there. You can just have that up against the solid wall, under a little bit of anything that doesn't have fucking tarps or polyester or anything with it. That would be how I would go. Wood stove is a fun novelty. Again, water, all the rest of it, and it's a giant fire. What are we going to do? We're going to have to sit out in the yard. So you need many different fucking ways. I recently got a fondue set, an alcohol burner fondue set from the op shop. That actually worked really well. $7 bottle of metho. Put a little bit of that in. It goes slow, but then it does cook well. Again, big open flame. So I would never actually use it indoors. I'll use it out on the front porch somewhere. I'll use it just outdoors, but never ever indoors. And so there's many different ways that you have to think. How am I going to boil water when it's raining? How am I going to boil water when it's not raining? How am I going to boil water when it's cold versus where it's hot? There's many different fucking things. But the whole point of the video is there are many different things. And you can do all of them, man. You can do it. There's probably 100 different fucking ways. Thanks for listening to my rant. I hope that, you can at least have hope that it's fine. And if one way doesn't work, that's fine. There's 100 different other ways to figure stuff out. You'll be right. And at the very worst, Go and find an electric barbecue and spend 7 hours trying to boil 1 cup of fucking water. It will work eventually if you're only trying to do it. But again, have hope. Yeah, because there's always hope. Fucking stay strong, motherfuckers. Stay alive, yeah? Because life's good. We're in paradise.